Hi everybody, welcome and thank you for joining me. Today is really a lazy day, and being without electricity for 4 hours during daylight time, it does not help much, and neither does the weather. I can't remember the last time I've seen something like this. 1 minute it is overcast with lightning and thunder, and the next minute not a cloud in sight, and about 31 degrees Celsius. So along with the load shedding, it is almost impossible to do what I wanted to do, namely sew the cushion covers for my lounge set, finish the birdhouse Dragon Man and I started on, and so on and so on. Anyway, another bit of strangeness we are going through at the moment is that not only do I catch myself wanting to move Mr. Birdie, or thinking of taking him outside or opening the window next to him, but poor Akira, yellow dog, had been looking for him on and off for about 24 hours, if not more by now, particularly this morning. You see, we had a routine. I would start with Mr. Birdie, empty whatever seed he had left over from the previous day into the outside bird's bowl, and fill the rest of the outside bird's bowl with wild bird seed. Then I would fill Mr. Birdie's little bowl with budgie food and fresh seed, okay? And then the other one, obviously, I would refill his little water bowl. Then I would refill the big jug with water for the outside birds. Then we would go outside, feed the wild birds, come back in, and then I feed Yellow Dog. So this morning, while I was boiling the kettle, Akira went to where Mr. Birdie's cage was. She sniffed around there and started to make small whimpering noises. Now, I never liked caged birds, especially not like this. A big aviary outside can be beautiful, but one or two little birds in a little cage was something I found very sad. But Dragon Man got Mr. Birdie and his wife as a gift when he was about 5. The wife died about 4 years ago, but Mr. Birdie lived on. For 10 years he travelled with us. I sang to him in the morning and he would sing back, and my daughter would mock fight with him and he would fight back. The house is now very quiet without Mr. Birdie. Anyway, I did not think Akira would even notice, let alone look for him. But, you know, animals are strange and have more complex emotions than we realize. Okay, now let's move on to the royals. I saw some in the comments saying that this is becoming a Charles bashing channel. Well, it's not. I am expressing my opinion on things I'm told by my contacts and contributors, the few I have, or on what I read, just like I would do with Harry and Meghan or any other royal or celebrity or politician. End of story. If you are so sensitive that you have to become overprotective of someone who do not even know your name or of your existence, then, I can't help you, then so be it. When I criticize anyone, with the exception of Meghan, I always put myself in the place of others, and when it comes to the king, I always side with my friends, my family, and majority of subscribers before even forming my own opinion. With more than £100 million from British citizens and taxpayers going to the monarch, it makes sense to me that one would expect a certain amount of service in return for that money, and not, I repeat, not, that time the king or anyone else is getting paid to perform certain duties are being spent filming documentaries at his private estate in Scotland, or him recording, in collaboration with Apple Music, a broadcast called The King's Music Room. The King's Music Room will premiere on Apple Music One on March the 10th at 6 a.m. So, congratulations, Britain. You seem to be saddled with a king who's now competing with his youngest son and daughter-in-law in the celebrity stakes. I'm sure the king will do better than his daughter-in-law, but is filming documentaries for a streaming service, thus I think that means there's money involved, at Dumfries' house in Scotland, and recording a broadcast on his favourite music over the years at Buckingham Palace. Is that what you guys are happy with? Is that what you are paying for? I mean, I can't answer it for you, but just think about it. Is that what you want in a king? Now look, I know the man is ill, and unfortunately I also know what the prognosis is. And I understand that under the circumstances he cannot give a toss about anything but his own desires and doing things he has always wanted to do, fulfilling wishes or going down his personal bucket list. But there's also an entire country to think about, people who had loved and supported him for over 76 years. So if he is unable or unwilling to guide or fight for his people, born and bred British people, Australians, people from New Zealand, etc., people from the realm countries, then he has to step back and hand over the reins. I've been told by an advisor that there had been talk around the palace of Charles's out-of-character behaviour. Some call it chemo brain, others think it is just pure self-indulgence because of the ultimate prognosis of his illness. The king already knows that there's no healing for him, but that instead it is now only managing his illness. So I have honestly true and deep empathy. I truly do. But I also have deep, heartbreaking empathy for the British people at the moment, and it breaks my heart even more to know and see that they do not have anyone fighting for them on their side, least of all the current king, whom they cared about since the day he was born. I wish my words would have had some impact, but it doesn't. What I am doing is classified entertainment and carries very little value, but I am going to say it anyway. I wish King Charles III would abdicate, step back, take care of his health, make more documentaries if he's up to it, and record more shows if he wants to. Hopefully, maybe, William can fix what is broken, and if he can't, then maybe after 2 to 5 years of his reign, it will be time for referendums across the nations. There's no ill intent with what I just said. I happen to know that there are those inside the royal circle who are openly saying the same. I also happen to know that William is seeing his role and what he can do for the country and people very differently from his father, King Charles III. But that is a story for another day, much, much further down the line. Okay, So let's talk about Meghan and the fact that a second series of Love Meghan has been announced. Now look, my dear friends, and I mean all of you, even if you are here, hate watching. It's okay. I mean, I need you too. Really, I do. When the second series of With Love Meghan was announced, it was mere minutes before the excuses started flying. Oh, the so-called season 2 was part of the original series. There were actually 12 episodes, but Netflix thought it would be a better look if they divided it into season 1 and season 2. Another excuse was that, oh, season 2 was already filmed and edited by the end of January, and therefore Netflix was forced or obliged to show it. Blah, blah, blah. It is all meaningless. Everybody who are grabbing at these excuses are not familiar with how television works. In the case of Netflix, the subscription service is currently its main source of income. So it is essential that Netflix stay popular, especially seeing that they are no longer the only streaming service in the world. Meghan is indeed unpopular. She's a liar, she's fake, and again, I mean, people just don't like her. And now that she has Love Meghan rammed down our throats, it's even worse. I listened to about 10 channels talking about M and her stupid show. I read the heading of articles about M's cooking show, and it is an absolute disaster. It was under the top 10 for about a minute and a half, and that was, of course, people who were curious, okay? I've also heard of very few people who watched all of the episodes. Most watched episode 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and 8. And even most of those were sleeping on and off through much of it anyway. So let's have a look at the ratings. The Independent rated the show 1 out of 5. Screen Rant rated it 3 out of 10. And IMDb 2.8 out of 10. And 28% Rotten Tomatoes. Of the 5,069 people who rated the show, the best they could do was 2.9 on average. The audience reviews were brutal. And here are a few of them. This show feels like a big ego-feeding trip for Rachel. 0 stars if I could. Do not waste your time watching this. Another one. It is a hollow, cringe-worthy vanity project. Number 3. If you're only watching out of interest, save your time and just watch a puddle dry up. Holy moly, was this boring. I had to fast forward through parts and I still couldn't finish the second episode. Another one. It is style over substance, performance over passion, and ultimately a waste of time. Another one. It is a sleep fest. This is another bust. And the last one, I mean, there are hundreds, really. But yeah, the last one, not worth the time. From mainstream media, we saw a number of devastating headlines. Rolling Stone, Markle's show is full of contradiction. Variety, With Love Meghan is a Montecito ego trip not worth taking. Then there's another one I did not write down the publication, but it basically says Meghan Markle's new Netflix show with Love Meghan is bland. The Guardian with Love Meghan is so pointless it may be the Sussex's last TV show. AD Middle East has a headline reading, Meghan Markle delivers neither style nor substance. So honestly, no one can be blamed or targeted because no one is to blame but Meghan herself. It is getting bad reviews across the board from the public, social media and mainstream media. So Meghan cannot turn around and point fingers at social media. She cannot turn around, point fingers at the British, because as you saw, I read one from the Middle East. So there's honestly no one in particular that she can blame but herself. So if popularity is what Netflix is actually trading, which they are, then please tell me, why are they allowing season 2 to continue? No, my dears, it is not because it was filmed already. There are many shows cancelled because it did not get the views which were anticipated. Maybe you would remember some of these. Stalker, gone after season 1. The Crossing, which I really liked, okay, gone after season 1. Jane by Design, which I haven't seen. Trophy Wife, which I heard a lot of people liked. And many others. I can also tell you that most of these had their second season filmed already. So, no, it is not an excuse. No, there must be something else at play here. And I still believe it has something to do with Ted Sarandos's CBE. I think it was actually confirmed by the King's inner circle a number of times when it was said that the King actually fears Harry and Meghan wanting to come back to the royal family, as there is no place, no role for them at the moment, or anytime soon, if at all. There are also many saying that William will not tolerate the return of Harry and Meghan. We all know that William in particular truly cannot stand Meghan Markle. Okay guys, let me go. I'm taking a bit of time to do art and crafts as I need to do so for my mental and physical well-being. This weekend I painted the flower box my daughter made me. I'm also slowly but surely patching up some of my old art and craft work and framing some of the worthwhile stuff, etc. It is a very slow process, but little by little I am reducing the mountain of unfinished art and crafts. Well, that is it, my friends. I will see you all tomorrow, God willing. So please take good care of yourselves until then. Bye.